Welcome to this full body power yoga flow. My name is Eckstrom, co-founder of Inner Dimension, an online streaming platform for yoga, meditation, and daily wisdom where you can find the full-length version of this practice. When you join, your first 10 days are free when you follow the link below. There, you'll find a library of more than 1,000 classes, not just with me, but with other amazing instructors from around the world. Let's get started in downward facing dog, and be sure to click that YouTube subscribe button so that we can keep spreading yoga and meditation for free around the world. We're gonna get started in downward facing dog. Place your hands the distance of your shoulders or slightly wider. First finger pointing ahead and step your feet toward the back of the mat, sitting bone distance or slightly wider if things are feeling a little bit tight as you get started today. We're gonna drop right in and remember that mindfulness doesn't reject experience. It allows experience to be the teacher. So on an inhale, float the body forward to upper push-up plank position. As you exhale, lower the knees down into tabletop pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart right away, linking breath to movement. Exhale as you round the spine and tuck the chin. On an inhale, come back to tabletop. And as you exhale, bring the big toes together, separate the knees, walk the arms forward and press back into child's pose, forehead touching the mat. On an inhale, slide back up into tabletop position. Then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, step back to downward facing dog as we flow this again. Inhale to the sound of Ujjayi, breath moving through your nose and along the back of the throat. Exhale, knees drop down underneath the hips, tabletop pose. Belly low on an inhale, heart high. Exhale, navel to the spine as you hang the head and round back inside. Inhale, returning to tabletop. Exhale, big toes together, knees spread, child's pose, and you just remember that this pose is here for you the entire practice, that you can come back to it as often as you need to. On an inhale, rise back up to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, pause in downward facing dog. And on an inhale, find upper push-up once again. Pause in the top of plank. Shoulders above your wrists, heels driving back. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, drop your right knee underneath your right hip, spin the sole of your back left foot flat, and then on an inhale, reach your left arm up toward the sky, coming into a modified version of plank. You could stay here, or if it was available today, float your left leg up and off the earth, never skipping a breath. Exhale your top left arm up and over the crown of your head, finding what we call Vyana Vayu, the outward flow of energy as you extend out through the left heel and reach through the left fingertips. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, pull your left knee to your left elbow as we work the side obliques, and this is Samana Vayu, the inward flow of energy. Then spread it all back out, left leg behind, left arm overhead, 2 more like that. Elbow to knee. Spread it all out. One last time, elbow to knee. The slower you go, the stronger you get. Reach it all back out, left leg, left arm still lifted. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Drop your left toes to the back of your mat and step back upper push-up plank position. Take an inhale and plank. As you exhale, shift the weight forward onto the toes, begin to bend the elbows, hover for a moment in chaturanga, and then lower the whole body down onto the mat. Stretch the arms back behind you, and on an inhale, float everything up and off the earth, coming into Shalabhasana, or what we refer to as locust pose, balancing on the belly. Take an inhale, legs lift, arms lift. Exhale, lower everything down, placing the wrists underneath the elbows, setting up for cobra. Inhale, baby cobra, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, lower slow, tuck the toes, press back through plank, and then back to downward facing dog. Second side, on an inhale, upper push-up plank position. Be there for a moment in this full body flow. You just feel everything igniting. Then exhale, lower the left knee down under the left hip. Pivot the back left foot flat. Reach the right arm to the sky. Come into your modified side plank pose. You could stay here. Or maybe today, you float the right leg up and off the earth. It's your choice. Right arm up and over the head as you extend the limbs away from each other. Navel still hugging back, and still your breath is deep. Take an inhale, reach out long. Then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, spread it all out. 2 more like that. Exhale, elbow to knee as you dig a little deep. Inhale, spread it all out. Exhale, elbow to knee, tap and touch. Inhale, spread it all out, arm and leg still lifted. Circle the right arm to the sky, take a goodbye inhale. Exhale, right hand to the earth underneath the right shoulder. Drop the right toes to the back of the mat. Step the left toes back to meet the right. Take an inhale, an upper push-up plank, and then shift forward. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto the mat. Same as before, arms stretch back. Everything lifts up and off the floor. In yoga, what we call shalabhasana or locust pose. And so a beautiful way to strengthen the spine. Take an inhale, stretch back through the toes. Exhale, lower everything down. Wrists underneath elbows. Baby cobra inhale, heart elevates. Exhale, lower slow. Tuck the toes. Press back through plank, and then downward facing dog. Shift your way up and back. And so it was Alan Watts who said, the thing you must do with all of the feelings you dislike is to experience them as deeply as possible. In any kind of physical practice, we're gonna touch into things that challenge us. Your job is not to run away from the experience, but to be with it with the whole of yourself. So let's move on. And let's touch into this full body flow. On an inhale, lift your right leg up and off the earth. Find a 3-leg downward facing dog. Then we're gonna make a big circle with the knee by exhaling, right knee to the left elbow, right knee to the right elbow. Then stack the hip, open the knee up toward the sky as you find a bent knee version of your 3-leg downward facing dog. On an inhale, square the hip off, reach the right leg back to your traditional 3-leg downward facing dog. Then exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. On your back toes, inhale, circle your arms to the sky. Reach the arms up wide, take a big inhale here. Then step to chairs, you exhale, arms by your side, sweep back. Left toes step back to crescent, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back to upper push-up, and slowly lower down. This time, upward facing dog on an inhale. Downward facing dog as you shift back, exhale. Left leg lifts up, inhale, that square hip. Then big circle, left knee to the right elbow, left knee to the left elbow. Stack and open the hip toward the sky, shoulders still square, pressing the earth away. Then inhale, traditional 3-leg downward facing dog. All 5 left toes point to the earth. Exhale, step your left foot forward, pause on back toes, inner thighs hugging in tight. Rise up, inhale, find crescent pose. Then exhale, step to chair, chest to thighs, arms by the sides, a big sweep. Right toes shoot back, inhale, crescent pose, land and lift. Hands down as you exhale. Step back to the top of a push-up, hover through chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale, remember it's always your choice. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Pause in downward facing dog. Take an inhale, press the hips up and back. Then as you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step the feet up to the top of the mat. Pull the chest out, inhale, find a flat back, your first one in this practice. Then exhale, forward fold, melt and drop in. Rise to the sky, inhale, ground through the feet as you float to stand. Exhale, pull your hands down to your heart. Pause at the top of your mat. One of my favorite quotes comes from the author Catherine May, and she reminds us, I am not learning as much as I am unlearning. And so unlearning some habits today. Maybe those are your habits of distraction, of fidgeting, of fussing. Can you leave yourself alone? Float the right knee up into the chest. Stack the right ankle above the left knee. Start to sit the hips back. And as you come into your version of floating pigeon pose, flex the right foot because it turns on this strap of muscle at the front of the shin. That's what protects the knee. Sitting bones draw back, hands at the heart, just dip down your own amount, nothing to force, nothing to make happen, and maybe it's that tendency to force things that you're unlearning today. On an inhale, rise to stand, both arms to the sky, right knee to the chest. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, hands to the heart, float to warrior three. Torso parallel to the earth. Right leg straight back behind you. Start to bend your left knee deeply. Drop step your right toes to the back of the mat. Rise up into crescent pose, this place you've been before. Take an inhale. Then hands to the heart as you exhale. Stay empty with breath. Right elbow outside of your left knee, landing yourself into a prayer twist. And then drag the thumbs back, drag the heart forward, get longer through the spine and keep what you have. Look down at your front left foot and then step your right foot up to meet your left, coming into a prayer twist in chair. Thighs descending, pressing up through your right hand and then flooding your lungs with prana, with breath. Shift your weight back into your left foot. Hug your inner thighs together, your knees together. Lift your right heel to your right sitting bone, and then send your right toes to the back of the mat, coming back to where you were. Keep what you have, and on an inhale, stay twisting to the left. Your right arm's gonna reach forward, your left arm's gonna reach behind you into a twisting version of crescent pose. Let's reverse it. Left hand to back, right thigh, right arm lifts up, reach the right arm back, give it a big squeeze there, take an inhale, and then exhale to warrior two. Back right foot pivots flat, left arm reaches forward, and you have that sense of really turning a corner. Find your breath, gaze over the left middle finger, stay focused in your practice. So many things that want to take our attention. And your attention is a kind of currency, so use it wisely. On an inhale, straighten your left leg. Heel toe your back foot in, shorten up the distance for stability. Reach the left arm forward, shift the right hip back. Triangle pose. Your hand could be at your shin. If you're practicing with props at home, you could have a block outside of your left ankle if that felt supportive and right. Start to turn your gaze down. Start to bend your left knee. Shift your left fingertips forward and float your right leg up and off the earth, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, or what we call half moon pose. So you've really already been here. You did it on hands and knees. You could stay here or start to bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand, take a hold of the top of your right foot, and then rather than opening into the back bend, can you hug the right heel into the right sitting bone so that you get a quadricep stretch, just a place that a lot of us need some opening and receptivity. Give it one last little squeeze there if you have the foot. Right leg straight back, right arm to the sky, pause in half moon, take a goodbye inhale, and we slow the transitions down. Start to bend the left knee, reach the right leg back, land in warrior two, reverse your warrior, take an inhale, still tracking the left knee open to the left, reach back, exhale, cartwheel the hands down onto the mat, spin onto your back right toes. Shift your weight forward, float your right leg from the earth, take an inhale, and then exhale, right foot meets the left at the top of the mat, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Bend the knees, drop the hips, shift back into chair pose. Weight into the heels. Pop up onto the toes, lift the heels from the mat. Start to sit the sitting bones down toward the heels. Open up the knees, plant the hands down. You could stay here, or maybe you take Bakasana to Vinyasa, always your choice. Knees plug up, high up into the arms, shift the weight forward, maybe the toes float. Take an inhale. And then exhale, shoot the toes back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press your way back. And if that was a belly flop for you, good job. Sometimes that's where we begin, and then we build from there. We've got to start somewhere, you guys. Don't forget. Take an inhale, press back. Exhale, look forward. Step the feet up top of the mat. Flat back, inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. Inhale, rise to the sky, reach up. Hands to the heart as you exhale. Float the left knee up and into the chest. Stack the left ankle above the right knee. Shift the sitting bones back as you make that figure 4 shape, coming into your version of a floating pigeon hip stretch. One of the things that's most important to remember is that practice means knowing that what we seek is always here. So what you seek is already here. Can you trust yourself, your body, and the journey? On an inhale, circle the arms to the sky, the left knee to the chest. Float back to warrior 3 as you exhale. Hands to the heart, torso parallel to the earth, left leg parallel to the mat. Take a goodbye inhale. Start to bend the right knee, drop step the left toes back, crescent pose as you rise. Balancing on the back toes, that back heel's lifted, so really spreading through the back toes for stability. Big inhale, lift the chest. Hands to the heart. As you exhale, left elbow outside the right knee, twist. Keep what you have, inner thighs hugging in, spine long, and then shift the weight forward and step up into twisting chair. Look how strong you are, look how capable you are, building all of these important muscles really for longevity. Not just muscles of strength, right, but muscles of balance, muscles of stability. Hug the inner thighs together, the knees together, float the left heel up to the left sitting bone, and then send the left toes to the back of the mat, returning from where you came. Stay turning to the right, left arm forward, right arm back on an inhale as you upright the torso. Then reverse, left arm overhead, right hand to back thigh. Take an inhale, reach back, then exhale into warrior 2. Back foot spins flat, front heel intersecting back arch. Take a goodbye breath as you spread. Exhale, right leg straightens. Heel toe the back foot in. Reach the right arm ahead. Your version of triangle pose. Right hand to right shin, maybe fingertips to the earth or a block outside the foot. You find your place. Start to turn your gaze down. Start to bend your right knee. Shift your right fingertips forward under your right shoulder. Lift your left leg parallel to the earth. Pausing in half moon, you did it on the knee on the mat. You could stay here. Or maybe you bend the left knee. Maybe you catch the left ankle, the top of the foot, and then hug it in today. Left knee reaching back, top of the left thigh, getting that sweet, sweet stretch. Give it one last little squeeze in there. Left leg straight back, left arm to the sky. Take your time as you transition. Bend the right knee, float step back through warrior 2. Reverse your warrior inhale, last little bit of standing practice. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, spin to your back toes. Shift forward, float the left leg up, take an inhale. And then exhale, feet land together at the top of the mat, forward folding. Flat back inhale, fold back in, exhale. Bend the knees, drop the hips, sit back to chair. Pop up onto your toes. Sit the sitting bones all the way down onto the heels. Spread the knees, open the knees wide, plug the knees high up into the triceps. Gaze forward, shift forward, lift through the navel, the pelvic floor. Maybe you come through Bakasana. And then toes forward, toes back, heart forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, shift back. Downward facing dog. Look at you. You showed up, you did it. Take an inhale. Knees down as you exhale. Cross your ankles behind you. Roll onto your back. Knees bent, feet flat, arms by the sides. Press into your feet. Lift your hips up. Interlace your hands underneath the low back, wrapping one shoulder under then the next. Setting up for bridge pose. Grounding through the heels. And beginning to slow the breath. You could stay with bridge, or if you wanted to bring the hands by the ears, press to the crown of the head first, and then pressing into the hands, come all the way up into wheel. Urdhva or bridge, your choice. Wherever you are, take one last inhale. If you're all the way up, tuck the chin to the chest, lower to the shoulder blades, and release the spine all the way back down onto the earth. Hug the knees into the chest. Cross the right thigh tightly over the left. Spread the feet away from the body. Reach forward, catch the feet or the shins, and lift them parallel to the earth. You had external rotation and internal rotation. Forward folding and back bending. Balancing and twisting. Every part of you got touched today in this full body flow. Keep the legs, release the feet, spread the arms out, shift the hips to the right, drop the knees to the left. Take a twist. Inhale back through center. Uncross the legs. This time left thigh tightly over the right. Reach forward, catch the feet or the shins. Find your place. And deep into that outer left thigh, maybe down into the left glute. A place that for so many of us just gets so tight. Just a consequence of being in a human body, of having a life. Nothing wrong with you. Give it a squeeze. Release the feet, shift the hips to the left, drop the knees to the right. Maybe the arms spread. Little twist. Inhale back through center, uncross the legs. Curl the forehead up to meet the knees. Squeeze everything. Take one last big inhale here. And then Shavasana, exhale, lay the body to rest and let it all go. Let yourself marinate in the residue of the practice as you surrender everything that came before this moment. A full body rest. And if you have time for a longer rest today, please stay. Otherwise, stretch the arms overhead, stretch the feet ahead, hug the knees in, and rock your way up to sit. And finding a final cross-legged seat, draw the hands together at the heart and bow your chin. And to remember the saying from today's practice that practice means knowing that what we seek is always here. So as you step off your mat and into your day, may you know that what it is you search for, what it is you long for, is always closer than you could ever imagine, as close as the beat of your heart, as close as the feeling of your breath. You touched into it this morning and it never leaves. In trust, let the journey come with you, inhaling the thumbs to the forehead for clarity of thought, the fingertips to the lips for thoughtfulness of speech, and the hands to the heart for consistency of action, allowing your practice to guide you through everything you're thinking, saying, and doing. Namaste. Thank you so much for moving through this full body power yoga flow with me. Leave a comment below and let me know how it was for you. And if you want to find the full-length version of this class, be sure to head over to Inner Dimension through the link below and enjoy your first 10 days for free. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.